Welcome back to 1931. Welcome back to the future. We are back in 1931 again. This is the third time we've come back here. This time we have to succeed. I'm going to talk to younger Doc because he hooks up with Edna, and we went back to 1986 and he turned it into a fascist state, and it's just like horrible.
Harry,
get back on track.
You do show up at the oddest moments. Where have you been hiding?
Yes, Helen.
Oh, you know, here and there, you're a little hard to pin down yourself. I went looking for you last night, but...
I believe I was off entertaining a beautiful lady. You know, I never really got a chance to thank you.
Well, I'm sure you would have escaped Kid on your own.
Kid? Oh, sure, I'm grateful for that, but no, I'm talking about Edna. It's funny to think of now, but until that crisis, I actually thought Edna and I disliked one another. Imagine.
Yeah, well, sometimes first impressions are right. The thing is, you shouldn't let Edna distract you from, you know, the business at hand. Finishing your project for the expo and going to see Frankenstein.
Oh, pshaw. I'm far too busy for movies these days.
But,
And as for my project, it's practically done.
the rocket car?
The rocket car? Boy, are you out of date. I've junked the rocket car.
But,
More trouble than it's worth. I'll never figure out a propulsion system that does what I want it to do. And besides, its social utility is practically non-existent.
Okay.
social utility? Since when do you care about...
The mental alignment meter is a much more worthy project.
The what?
It was Edna's idea, and she's really been cracking the whip to get me to complete it in time for the expo.
Damn it, I'm a little confused here. What day is it?
Why, it's opening day. The opening day of the expo. Which reminds me, I'd better skedaddle back to the lab. If Edna catches me dawdling, there'll be heck to pay. Catch you around, Callahan.
October 12th. Doc?
What happened, Doc? This time machine isn't quite working right. We're not on the right date. What year? That's close enough. Come on, Marty. What are you doing? I thought I was going to see the Doc.
Come to think of it, it is a bit brisk for August.
Oh, we're 2 months late. The expo's about to start and teenage you is already in over his head with Edna.
I always did have a tendency to plunge into things.
Let's plunge into the DeLorean and get to the right date.
No, it's far too risky. Remember how I was late picking you up in '86?
Yeah?
That should have been a tip-off. Something is horribly wrong with the time circuits, and the problem appears to be getting worse. If we try to jump now, we could find ourselves stranded in the Cenozoic age. Or worse, the Mesozoic.
Then we're stuck?
For the time being, I'll look into the problem and see what I can do. In the meantime, you can go to work on the other problem.
Right. I'll go to the lab and see if I can talk teenage you out of...
Impossible. If young me is already as infatuated as you say, you're not going to be able to talk him out of anything. Believe me, I remember. Better to focus on the more clear-headed half of the couple.
Edna. Where can I find her?
Where do you think? I'll drive. The DeLorean should still function adequately as a means of conveyance in the first 3 dimensions.
Yeah, but it's kind of obvious, isn't it? You can't drive a DeLorean in 1931. Jeez, somebody's going to notice. What the fuck is that? Time travel is very complicated. So easy to mess things up. You spend ages trying to fix it. It all starts falling apart again. It's like I've got thrown out of the club.
You're
twice.
right. There she is.
My soon-to-be ex-future wife is nothing if not predictable.
Do I really have to talk to her? I mean, couldn't I just hang out until you fix the time circuits and...
Oh!
I'll talk to her. You better get the DeLorean out of sight before someone...
Hey, you! Quit blocking the drive! All car of the future contestants need to report to the North Tent.
Why not?
Wait.
Good luck!
You can't enter the car. Somebody's going to take a photograph of it. And, oh my god, Doc, what are you doing? Somebody's going to take a photo of the DeLorean. You crazy. Hey, it's my granddad. Artie, what are you doing?
Hey, Artie. Officer.
Officer?
Oh, yeah.
Right. Don't blow your cover.
Will you please keep your mind on the task at hand?
Can't talk right now.
Hi, Edna. You're a bat.
Spell it B-R-O-W-N. It's not exactly an obscure name.
I still don't see it on the list. I'm sorry.
Oh, for the love... Let me try this one more time. This is the Hill Valley Science Expo, right?
First annual.
Indeed. The purpose of our fair is to showcase cutting-edge technology.
That's right. And to burnish Hill Valley's reputation as a forward-thinking community.
And yet, you want to exclude the maker of the most revolutionary breakthrough of all.
It's not that I want to, but... Oh, dear.
Mr. Callahan, you do pop up at the oddest times. What are you doing here?
I need to...
Whatever it is, I hope you don't have to deal with Mr. Stonewall here. His sole function seems to be preventing people from accomplishing their business. Honestly, with him keeping the books, it's a wonder the Tannen gang got as far as they did. Have you seen Emmett?
No.
Oh, then you've heard all about his big breakthrough, the mental alignment meter. Isn't it exciting? And to think, he didn't even realize the import of his discovery until I pointed it out to him. I've never known anyone like him, so oblivious to his own potential.
I kind of wanted to talk to you about Emmett and his potential.
Funny, I didn't spot it myself at first. In fact, for the longest time, I thought I didn't even like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I mean, Emmett's nice and all, but he's not exactly the kind of guy that has girls swarming all over him.
Well, I'm not your average girl.
Yeah, but...
I appreciate your concerns, Mr. Callahan, but I can take care of myself. I know what I'm looking for in a man, and it so happens Emmett fits the bill to a T. That's Emmett Brown. Rhymes with clown, which I'm beginning to think you are.
Just a simple mix-up, I'm sure.
I've no doubt of that.
I want to talk to that guy over there.
Hey,
Does he remember
excuse me.
Yeah?
When does the expo
Not till
open?
tonight. Anybody without official business here, please get off the grounds! You got official business here?
Yeah.
Well, stay out of the way of the workers.
You remember
You
me?
look familiar. Do I know you?
Nope.
You think you remember somebody who got thrown out of the club twice, and I hit on his girlfriend as well twice. It's just like, yeah. It'd be great if one day somebody came up with a game where you can actually time travel in the game. It'd be very complicated though.
The Brown place is on Riverside Drive. Way too far to go on foot. I wonder how Doc's coming with the DeLorean.
There doesn't seem to be much. What is this?
Way too far to go on foot. I wonder how...
Okay. Yeah, you can actually see what you've done in the past and change things. It's just an idea. It's very complicated.
Well,
I talked to her.
and?
She says she knows what she's looking for, and it's you.
But it can't be me. It wasn't me. Marty, we don't belong together.
You don't have to tell me that.
Find out exactly what her requirements are. I can almost guarantee you that I don't fit them.
Okay. You got DeLorean part on the lawn, jeez. It's like having a UFO from outer space and just parking it in Central Park.
You said that Emmett fits your bill of requirements for a man.
Yes?
What would that list be exactly?
You'd make a good reporter, Mr. Callahan. You know that? Well, his physical appearance for one thing. Emmett may not be Clark Gable, but he cleans up surprisingly well. I gave him my grandfather's white suit to wear at the expo. Oh, you should see him in it. He looks positively radiant.
Looks good in a suit. Got it.
And he's completely devoted to me. That's important. I've got no time or tolerance for playboys.
Faithful as a Labrador. Check.
Thirdly, and most important,
Yes?
well, his mind, of course. It's brilliant, and it's virtuous through and through. His own mind map shows him to be a model citizen.
Good brain. I see. And if it turned out that you were mistaken about any of these qualities,
Say, what's your game?
just curious, just trying to understand the female mind.
Well, understand this. I'm not some faint-hearted girl who'd run away at the first hint of trouble. I've made a big investment in Emmett. Not money, but I've sunk all my ambitions into him. I'd have to be thoroughly disillusioned before I'd call it quits with Emmett. Got it?
Uh-huh.
Now, Mr. Cub Reporter, is there anything else?
That's all the questions I got.
Very well, then.
Hey, Trixie.
Hey, Artie.
Oh,
You
yeah.
seen my Orioli?
You mean this?
Yeah, thanks.
What the hell
She
are you
gets to come and go freely, and I'm forced to wait. I love it.
So, we can mess up young Dr. Brown's suit, get him to miss a few dates and all that. Yes.
Have you figured out what's wrong with the time circuits?
Not sure. Possibly. It seems to me to be a simple wiring issue, but I'm double checking to make sure. All the basic equipment appears to be functional.
Any chance I could borrow the DeLorean? I want to drop in on young you at the lab.
Well, I don't know. The time circuits.
Listen, I promise I won't take it to 88.
Even so, I'm worried about letting it out of my sight while it's still behaving unpredictably. Tell you what, I'll take it on a
drive
test
that.
drive 1 minute into the past. If it passes the test, I'll let you borrow it.
Uh-oh. That's not a good idea. He's going to end up with dinosaurs or something.
It worked! Didn't it?
I'm afraid not. In fact, the discrepancy appears to be getting worse. I arrived 6 hours ago.
Oh, too bad.
I didn't want to risk undoing any of the work you've done thus far, so I kept out of sight. But the time lag wasn't entirely a waste. I stopped by the hardware store and bought the parts for a chronometric analyzer.
A what?
A diagnostic device. See, I plug it into the time circuits and set them to cycle. When the green light goes off, I should have the data I'll need to understand the scope of the problem.
Hey, no driving the exhibits off the lot!
Looks like you'll have to find another set of wheels if you want to get to the lab.
Yeah, one there. How easy is it to hotwire a car in 1931? Quite easy, I guess.
To all who approach these hallowed halls, I bid thee welcome. To all who approach these hallowed halls, I bid thee welcome. To all who... Oh, hiya, kid. Say, aren't you the fellow who...
Got you to turn on Kid Tannen? You bet.
You look younger without your mustache. That was a dirty trick, you know, making me think Kid had gone and iced Artie.
I'm sorry, but it was the only way I could...
Forget about it. I'm trying to. Yesterday's in the past. That's my motto. You gotta live for today.
Right.
So what are you doing down here anyway? Do you wish to pull the levers that control the future?
Absolutely.
At the expo, silly. Technology for a better tomorrow and all that.
Oh, yeah, that's actually why I'm here. So, Artie's working for the expo too, huh?
Oh, Artie's doing swell. The papers made a big deal of him testifying against Kid. People have been beating down his door ever since the trial. The expo's darn lucky they could get him.
get to?
Listen, I've got a proposal for you. I have this friend, right?
No dice. I'm only seeing Artie now.
It's not like that. See, my friend's in a relationship with Edna Strickland.
Oh, poor schmuck. I wouldn't wish her on anyone.
Then you see where I'm coming from. He won't listen to reason, but I thought she might call it off if she thought he and you were, you know.
Ah, you are an evil imp, ain't ya?
Sometimes a guy's got to resort to underhanded tricks. What do you say?
Sorry.
Ah,
Edna might be a pill, but if I play dirty tricks on every dame who disapproves of me, well, I'd play a lot of dirty tricks. Besides, such stunts are beneath the dignity of Techne, Muse of Progress.
see you, Trixie.
Great.
From this chamber of wonders, we bid you a fond adieu.
Adieu, mademoiselle.
Pleasant dreams, Hill Valley. And the Expo would like to remind you that you can find everything you need to transform your dreams into reality at Hal's Hardware. Hal's Hardware, serving our fair city since 1895.
Nice rock. But I
Is that a real
can't
diamond?
reach it.
And after the rain, what else? An artificial rainbow, reassuring all the good people of Hill Valley that their needs are taken care of, and
Nice
life
rock.
is sweet.
But I can't reach it.
How much time trying to steal a diamond? What's this one do?
Agricultural advances will make it a breeze to feed our burgeoning population. Tired of waiting for Mother Nature to do her job? Residents will want to venture forth into the fresh air, and super trains into the future for a peek at Hill Valley circa 1981. Courtesy of Hal's Hardware and the collective imagination of mankind.
No keys. I'll have to
Could
find my
this
wheels
be
somewhere
our
else.
venerable town square? Yes, indeed. Though the form looks strange and new, the function remains the same
Shut
as
up.
ever. But where are all the people? Why, they're underground. A network of burrows extends a mile into the earth, giving future Hill Valley's 10
Wonder if that
million
has a
citizens
massage setting.
plenty of space to work, play, and
Wonder if that has a
raise their
massage setting.
families.
I wish the courthouse did look like that in 1981.
Ah, cool. Oops.
My future
a
wouldn't be
skateboard.
built so shoddily.
Hi, Miss Strickland. I was just...
Break what you like, Mr. Callahan. It's no skin off my nose. Just keep away from Emmett's booth. Speaking of whom, I'd better go see what's keeping him.
Emmett's booth.
I'll go check on him for you. I was just heading there anyway.
No, you weren't. The last thing he needs is another distraction at the 11th hour.
But...
Tut tut. Not another word. I've got the rest of the day all mapped out.
Miss Strickland!
I'm sorry, I don't recognize you. Heavens, you shaved off your hair, but Carl Sagan?
I'd like a word with you, if I may.
I'm not sure it would be seemly for me to be seen in the company of an alleged arsonist.
I think it may be in your best interest. You see, I know what you're up
Let's go somewhere where we can talk privately.
to. Go. I'll keep her occupied till you get back.
You whispered I know what you're up to. Okay. What am I doing?
Press button to experience future Hill Valley, circa 1981.
Yeah, we've done all this.
I don't think I've visited that timeline yet.
Yeah, it still might come true. Okay, where's... Excuse me, Trixie. Where's Emmett's booth? There's a DeLorean. Can I just take the DeLorean?
Now that I've got my bitchin' train / skateboard, I don't need the DeLorean to get around town.
Oh, fine. I'm gonna use the bloody skateboard then. This...
Hang on, Emmett. Hope you're ready for a big breakup.
Okay. Okay, now.
Emmett?
What's he doing here?
Thanks again for your assistance, Detective Parker.
Detective? What the hell is Kid doing here?
Nothing criminal, I assure you. I was just getting a mind map of Mr. Tannen for our exhibition at the Expo. The authorities wouldn't allow Edna and I to stage a demonstration of the mental alignment meter with a violent felon, but this little baby is just as good. Okay, let's see now what's next. Check the stew, sort the maps. Ooh, I almost forgot that.
Edna really is cracking the whip, isn't she?
Well, yes, but she's got my best interests at heart. Without her, I can get so distracted. Did she send you down here to check up on me?
Yeah, she wanted to come herself, but...
She's busy too, I know. Well, you're a poor substitute for Edna's lovely features, but make yourself at home.
Thanks.
No thanks are necessary. Without you, I'd never be where I am now, in love with the woman of my dreams, and a mere 6 hours from my first public triumph as a scientist. Wait a minute. 6 hours? Jumping Jehoshaphat, I'm running out of time!
If I'm gonna take Emmett's mind map, I'd better replace it with another one.
See, I could take this mind map.
The
and
mind
swap
of a
them out.
degenerate criminal.
It's Kid Tannen's mind map, as captured by our mind map helmet.
You could tell he's a criminal just by looking at this?
No, but when it's fed into the mental alignment meter...
Weird.
Weird nothing. It's science.
If I swap them around, Edna might... But I need to distract him.
I'd be careful of that if I were you.
Why?
The rocket fuel experiment must have stripped one of the teeth in the hand crank. As a consequence, if you turn it for more than 10 seconds, it... Whoa! Sends out an electric shock.
What did that do? in
How
his
does the
head?
mental alignment thing work?
Here, I'll show you.
Hey!
The test subject wears this mind mapping helmet, which probes the brain by measuring fluctuations in skin conductance and electrical resistance on the surface of the parietal lobe.
Uh-huh.
When I turn on the mind mapping helmet with this radio switch, the subject is exposed to a series of visual stimuli, intended to provoke a series of positive or negative responses, as indicated by these lights on the helmet.
Hey, is that...
As the responses are recorded, they're relayed to this special typewriter, which prints out a punch card that represents the subject's mind map.
Uh-oh. What kind of mind map have I got?
All I see is a bunch of holes.
Well, to you, maybe. But to our mental alignment meter, this mind map is nothing less than a peek into your subconscious. Observe as I place your mind map into the MAM.
Layabout.
Yeah, fair
Is
enough.
that machine calling me a slacker?
No, your own physiological responses did.
I'm a slacker? Oh, no. Fair enough.
Phew.
Ugh, did the clamp fall off again?
Yeah.
Put it back on. Well, I don't even know why I keep that bacteria tank around. Every time the clamp falls off the nitrogen tube, it takes a couple of minutes before I can get the stench out of the air. Whew.
Penny has dropped.
Nothing happened.
Well, that button advances the slides during the mind mapping test. It only works while the test is running.
By the way, okay, that's good. If I make a
What's
new...
this?
The mind map cards from the dozens of subjects I've tested during the last few weeks. I've got to get them sorted before the expo begins.
Why?
Edna's got this grand scheme to catalog all of Hill Valley citizens by their mental alignment. Isn't that cute?
Not really.
Scary. So,
What's this typewriter do again?
During a mental alignment test, it takes messages from the mind map helmet and turns them into punch cards, like the one for Mr. Tannen over there.
Seems complicated.
Actually, it was all rather easy to put together, once Edna gave me the idea.
Sounds to me like you should be working on harder problems then.
What? Sorry, I've got to get back to work.
how do I turn it on?
According to Emmett, this thing prints out mind maps.
Okay, I need to turn it on, run the test, and get him to... What's that?
What's this?
That's a can of used motor oil, rocket fuel waste, and assorted chemical sludge left over from my abandoned rocket car.
Gross.
Accounting doesn't enter into it, but it is disgusting. Would you mind disposing of it on your way out?
Sure.
Okay.
Hey, Emmett, what's cooking?
That's an old Brown family recipe for Hassenpfeffer.
Hassenpfeffer.
Rabbit stew. The trick is to add the cumin an hour after the carrots. Take a whiff. Isn't that just about the best thing you've ever smelled in your life?
It's, powerful, yeah.
I've got it on a slow boil for later.
So he likes that.
What's this?
It's the placard we'll be putting in front of our booth at the expo.
The scientist that caught Kid Tannen?
A small exaggeration, but Edna says it'll attract investors. What do you think of the picture?
You look a little... constipated.
What? Edna said I looked intense.
Yeah, intensely focused on taking it.
I get the picture. I'll have to find a better one. Unfortunately, there's a lot to choose from.
Heavy.
Extremely. Mother has been rather obsessive about photographically cataloging my life.
Indeed. Okay. Okay. So, where you going? You're walking all the way around the table.
Hey, Emmett, I've got an idea.
What?
Why don't I take your photo album over to Edna so she can pick out your new picture?
That's a great idea. She's got a better eye for these things than I do anyway. Thanks, pal.
Don't mention it.
Okay. All the way around.
So this machine takes those little cards and tells you whether or not someone's a good guy or bad guy?
Kind of. Actually, the helmet does all the work. The mental alignment meter is just a glorified arcade machine.
So why not just go with the cards?
Edna says that people respond well to flashing lights and snap judgments. I can't argue with that. Every time I kiss her, I see flashing lights and lose all sense of judgment.
No kidding.
You have to walk all the way around. Yeah. Just want to talk to Emmett.
Hey, Emmett, got a sec?
Why, yes. In fact, I've got several.
Hey, what's with the new threads?
Do you like them?
You look like Colonel Sanders.
Who?
Never mind.
Edna gave them to me. She says my usual clothes don't have enough zing for a public exhibition.
You look busy. Why don't we talk later?
Sure thing.
Okay, so,
I Don't Care by Trixie Trotter?
Edna doesn't approve of that sort of music, but I find it very soothing. Ah.
They say I'm crazy, got no sense, but I don't care. They may or may not mean offense, but I don't care.
I need to turn this machine on. How do I stop running the test?
According to Emmett, this thing prints out mind maps.
I know. How do I...
How goes the bacteria farm?
Not so hot. The bacteria have kind of gotten out of control. I had to put a clamp on the nitrogen tube to keep the stench from flooding the lab.
There we go, found it. Okay.
No!
Okay. Right. Who's this guy?
Wait, I know that. That's John Wilkes Booth, the guy that shot Lincoln.
Oh, okay.
So I guess he's supposed to be a negative figure.
Careful. Don't let all the flavor escape.
Oh, what? Oh, for fuck's sake.
No! No!
Okay, at what point is it actually recording the readings? Oh, so, okay. Seems to be right. Now this is Doc. That is Doc, isn't it?
Hey, I remember that picture from Edna's apartment in 1986. It's a kid and a relative of Edna, so it's probably a positive figure.
Right, okay, it's shocking for that.
No! No!
Okay. That's good work, isn't it?
Hey, Emmett, I think your mind map test is broken.
Oh, well, that switch just keeps shorting out on me. No time to fix it now. I'll have to take care of it at the expo.
Looks like I'm not going to be doing any more mind maps. I guess I'll test this out and hope for the best.
Must be right, because if it's not, fucked.
Bingo! Now Emmett's mind map is as bad as Tannen's. Now all I have to do is swap this out with Emmett's original mind map and Emmett's own machine will do him in.
What's, do I still have it on me? Yeah, I still have it on me, okay. Let's do that. You're fine, come on, smoke. Come on, come on, come on. Here you go.
Okay, Emmett, get ready to meet the new you.
Hey!
What?
I almost left behind my mind map card. We're gonna show it off at the expo as a rare example of a model citizen. Edna kill me if I forgot that.
She might kill you anyway when she gets a look at that mind map. Once Emmett gets to the expo, I'll try to figure out how to get him to put his card in the mental alignment meter. But for now, I better concentrate on making Emmett a slob who cheats on his girlfriend.
Right.
Emmett?
Yeah?
That's
How
bad.
are things between you and your father? I'm kind of surprised he hasn't torn down your lab yet.
Oh, he's still angry with me and threatening to cut me out of his will, but I'm hoping that the civic potential of my mental alignment meter will win him over.
So, you and Edna, how serious are you guys?
Well, we both enjoy a good joke every now and then, but I'd say on the whole we're fairly serious people. Why do you ask?
No. What I mean is, how serious is your relationship?
Oh, well, as a scientist, I can't state this with 100% confidence, but I'm provisionally certain that I'm head over heels in love.
Really? With Edna?
What can I say? She's my muse. In the week since we've been courting, she's given me so many wonderful ideas.
You get back to work. We'll catch up later.
Thanks.
I'll head back and give that photo album to Edna. Well, that's been done.
Can I talk to you a minute, Miss Strickland?
Surely. Excuse us a moment.
It's like this. What the heck is this mental alignment meter of Emmett's?
Oh, it's an absolutely revolutionary invention. Measures a person's affinities, what he's attracted to, what he's repulsed by, that sort of thing.
Interesting. And it really works?
Well, of course. What's the point of inventing something that doesn't work? Or anyway, it works well enough for my purposes.
That's all the questions I got.
Very well, then.
Show the bloody photo album. Oh, wait a minute,
I
I've got
probably
that oil.
shouldn't show Emmett's baby pictures around to complete strangers.
What are you talking about? That's Edna, yeah?
I probably shouldn't show Emmett's baby pictures around to complete strangers.
You asked me to do it, for fuck's sake. I just realised I got that motor oil. Can I get that motor oil on Doc's suit? Hold on. We need a skateboard. Okay, let's go back again. What a waste of time that was.
I'm back.
And I'm busy. Make yourself at home, though.
Yeah, I wonder if I can get this oil in this suit somehow.
Hey, Emmett, I've got a... Whoa! Whoops.
What the heck?
Oh, jeez, I'm sorry. Your suit's ruined. Edna's gonna be royally PO'd.
Wrong.
What?
When Edna gave me this suit, I realized that the probability of me keeping it clean was infinitesimally remote, so I spent a few hours whipping up this.
Whoa! What was that?
A chemical compound capable of wiping the grime off any surface.
Emmett, you'll make a fortune.
Not anytime soon, I'm afraid. Due to an inherent instability in its molecular makeup, after 12 hours, the cleanser's component chemicals break down into a series of cloth-shredding enzymes, rendering it unsuitable for commercial use.
Wait a minute. Does that mean your suit's gonna dissolve in 12 hours?
Dear gods, no. The solution dissipates into the air after it's applied. But it does mean that after this batch of cleanser ages another 11 hours and 53 minutes, it would eat away this suit faster than 1,000 starving moths. And that would be a crisis of unimaginable proportions.
Why?
Because this suit belongs to Edna's grandfather, who wore it on his wedding day. Poor guy was gunned down just a few years later.
Emmett?
Well, enough wool gathering. Back to work.
How am I gonna age that liquid? I need it. Can I get it into a time machine? I've got a time machine, but fucking hell.
That cleanser doesn't seem very portable.
It isn't, but this is.
A perfume bottle?
Yes. No. I mean, yes, it's a perfume bottle, but inside is a concentrated dose of my all-purpose cleanser. With a little luck, this should last me through the next 12 hours before its component chemicals break down into a series of cloth-destroying enzymes.
Clever.
I take that.
What the hell is that?
What?
Sorry, I thought I saw a tarantula.
Okay, let's go get a time machine.
What?
I was just thinking about the future. All that talk about Edna's grandfather made me realize something.
Please let it be something about lightning.
Life can be short, sometimes brutally so. So why not seize the day and grab your happiness while you can?
I'm not sure I like where this is going.
I was saving this for next Valentine's Day, but why should I? I know what I want.
Emmett, no.
I'm gonna ask Edna to marry me. Right now.
No!
Oh, right. I'll wait until tonight at the expo. It'll be much more romantic that way. Just think. By this time tomorrow, Edna and I will be engaged and will be the toast of the scientific community. And I owe it all to you.
You're welcome.
Shit. Okay. Well, back to the main plan. Can I not? Is that the dark, isn't it?
I don't see any stains on him.
Oh, God, okay. Let's get into glowing.
Doc said to tell him when the light on his diagnostic thingy went green. Nope, no green light yet.
Okay. Oh, this is new. Where's it go?
Press button to experience Hill Valley's primeval past. Okay, if this dinosaur is called a Tanninosaurus, I'm gonna... Oh, whew.
Times may be hard in Hill Valley, but our present worries fade into insignificance when we ponder our Pleistocene past. Is the wolf knocking at your door? Be glad he's not a Tyrannosaurus, king of the ancient lizards. And if you find yourself drowning in debt, well, you could be drowning in something a whole lot stickier, like the Hill Valley tar pits. This peek into the distant past is brought to you by Lamont's House of Ermine, reminding you fur is forever.
Press button to
Oh, no.
Maybe when real Doc comes back, we'll take a trip to see a dinosaur.
There we go.
Furs donated by Lamont's House of Ermine. At least they're going to a good cause. They're stuck tight in this tar. Press button.
Oh, no, we've done that. Okay. We'll figure this out next week. So until then, adios.